Hey, welcome guys back to the channel, Maverick here, today with the apparently finale of 86, at least for this season here. I was just checking around and found out that, hey, this only has 11 episodes apparently. Now I'm not sure if they're gonna have a second season or whatnot. I certainly would hope so, because this certainly deserves a second season. It is, at this point, still my choice for anime of the season. I mean, I'm just starting Vivi, so maybe you could make an argument for that later on. I watched the first episode, it was pretty good, but you know, at this point in time, right, it has to be 86 here. Just, you know, it's so rare nowadays for me to find an anime that I not only enjoy the animation, like the artwork, the sound design and whatnot, but also the characters, the storylines themselves are logical, to make sense. They don't try to you know, they don't try to appeal to your emotions too much, right? They're not trying to overdo it and really try to work your tears and whatnot. But like for instance, last episode, right? They didn't really make some overt scene where you have the characters all crying and whatnot. But you know, just the subtleties there, just showing us flashbacks of all the people who have died already, and actually showing them whilst they are happy and fooling around and whatnot, right? So yeah. Anyways, I've praised this enough. You guys know how I feel from the past few episodes. And in case we are on the last episode at this point. So we might see Lena again, I would presume. I would certainly hope so. Otherwise, well, hey, she's supposed to be the main character, isn't she? No, I guess maybe Shin is, but you know, kind of debatable. I'd say Lena is, but in any case, I would certainly hope to see her once again before we get to the end of this. Yeah, I think at this point, let's just get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Right, October 30th, so I believe this is when all the rest of the 5 are like in some pretty deep shit. Yeah, I would say they're in really deep shit. Okay, continue on to the end of the last episode. Whoosha! Come on, I feel like for the last episode you don't need to. Well, I mean, it is a good song, so I guess I can relent this point. But yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for my prediction to carry out, right? Which is how out of the 5, I feel like beyond Shin, I'm really dubious of any of them surviving. Like Karina just has Death Flag written over her. Same for the I can't remember his name right now. Raiden, yeah. But, we'll see. We shall see. You know, how awesome would it be if all 5 of them just all died, and then, you know, Lena is there to carry on her duties, meet the second generation of the Spearheads, or not even the second generation, the next generation of Spearheads, and then continue her fight from there, right? As sad as that would be, I think that would be an awesome development. But, no, I feel like at least Shin will have to survive for a bit longer. Oh. Huh. But we're all getting bright colors again, so I guess this might be the only casualty? Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Yeah, they're all still alive. And we're like 50 years into the future and they're still using normal weapons. At least relative to our modern world. Man, to be able to continue to press forward with, you know, there's this kind of cheerful enthusiasm. At least as much as they can muster up. I guess there's a legion in there? Oh no. He was simply seeking the cloud, I guess. Wow, that is some loud-ass rain. Oh, it's actually tied together? Huh. So it was Legion after. Alright. I shouldn't have doubted myself the first time. You are in their territories, you know. Oh, an old town. Huh. Like, time is essentially stuck in, like, modern day. I mean, I say modern day, obviously it looks a little bit more run down and whatnot, but, you know, in the Japanese countryside or whatnot, you would see that scenery still. Yeah, I do wonder, like, does this world have anything... Oh, that's a piece. Well, that's Japanese, so does that mean the Imperials are Japanese? Yeah, I mean, it's like completely in Japanese. Looking behind there. Future, hope, peace. The youth that they were not able to have. Is it a good idea to light this out here? Nobody has guilty thoughts of tearing up textbooks, let me tell you that. It's actually tradition in a lot of schools. In Asian cultures anyways. I wonder if that's a Grave of the Fireflies reference there. Again, being able to just laugh away this kind of situation. These five are real troopers, man. What is that? Is that a natural formation? No, I think Shin has something in mind. I feel like he has something in mind. Yep. Is he going to leave them behind? Yep. I feel like that was a pretty obvious outcome. And if anything, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't notice a little bit earlier, right? Considering they're probably the ones closest to Shin. Oof. I get the sentiment, but what exactly can those small arms fire do? Everyone who threatens the princess? What? As for... Yep. I don't... Oof. Is there going to be any help, or is this really their last stand? Turn back time. This is right after they cut communications with Lena, right? Is she at the front lines? Yeah, I think so. Under house arrest. Really? So, house arrest allows you to go to the front lines? What kind of house arrest is that? Wow. So they weren't integrated, basically. I wonder how many generations of the spearheads that this guy has seen already. Well, if we consider that 180 days, right? So that's 6 months, and the war has been going on for... Actually, how long has it been going on? 4 years? So that's at least 8 generations or something like that? She's gonna see their graffiti, right? The pig graffiti and whatnot. Or is this Shin's room? Oh, I mean, eventually getting to Shin's room. Yep, Shin's room. Follow. Follow her outside. See the courtyard. Yeah, at this point in time, they're still alive. All quiet on the Western Front. That's a famous book. Yep. Wow, they actually left one last thing for her. Aww. Oh my god. Ah, like I said, it's just the subtleties of these emotions. Damn, this actually hit me much harder than that last scene there, where they're just about to die. Look at that face. Yeah, she has her own fight to do. She has her own fight to carry on. Ah, we still got about 2 minutes left. Are they just gonna end like this? No, I feel like they have to have something else after the ending song here. Just see, this is the kind of actual mature themed war story that I want to see. Mature themed war anime that I want to watch. Right? What exactly is she going to name the cat? Is it gonna be named Shin or something like that sort? Of that sort? So has he rejoined his brother? Yep. Ah, and that's how you make an effing anime. Man, guys, this is such an incredible ending to an incredible anime here. So apparently there is going to be a special episode airing a week after this. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's sort of like I don't know, like some supplementary information or something of that sort. Maybe it's gonna go through their daily lives once again, including some of the characters who are all killed. I mean, I'm assuming what happened at the very end there is all 5 of them were killed, right? And Shin, his head was taken off and apparently integrated into Legion. So I guess my prediction kind of came true. They did actually kill them all off, and Shin does kind of sort of survive on as a voice within the Legion. I'll assume that he's probably going to face Lena sometime, or Lena's going to face Shin sometime later on down the road, but you know, for all intents and purposes, they are dead, right? And the second season has already been announced, so it is apparently a split core season, so we will have more of this goodness. And boy, is it good, right? Like, this is one of those times where, I don't even know how to describe this, right? But I like just the grim reality of what is happening here. But and what I'm saying here is that like for instance at the very end there, you know, they're all these 5 of them, right? The 5 elite of the Spearheads who survived until the very end, their fates were essentially sealed once they set out on the recon mission, right? So at the end there, I was you know, half thinking, okay, is there going to be like some miraculous survivors or troops or forces showing up to save maybe 1 or 2 or maybe all of them in the nick of time or something of that sort. But no, they just, boom, went ahead and just killed off all of them, right? And it wasn't like overtly dramatic or anything. It wasn't trying to wring out your tears. It was just them dying in you know, I wouldn't even say flashes of heroism, right? Now, obviously, they all went back for Shin and all that. They tried to make their last stand there, but you know, we don't get these super over the top, you know, cinematograph scenes of them like slow mowing and mowing down as many of the troops as they can before eventually succumbing or whatnot. I mean, don't get me wrong, that would be cool, but you know, that is trying to play towards the sort of feelings there. That is trying to drive the emotions there. And as I said, more than anything else within this episode, I felt the most emotions at the very end there, right? While Lena was reading the notes left behind by those 5. You know, they actually still thought of her, they believed in her, and you know, that is basically their wills, right? Their last wills to Lena, right? They are entrusting Lena with carrying out, you know, their last wishes and whatnot. They know they're going to die, but they believe in Lena. So, you know, just that kind of connection that they have there. Oh my god. I will admit, I was almost sort of tearing up at the very end there while Lena was reading the letter, just as Lena was. But again, you know, if we took a look at Lena, it's not like, you know, she cried. Absolutely, she cried, but it wasn't like a full-out bawl or anything. She wasn't showing, they weren't going overboard with showing these signs of vulnerability and whatnot, right? You know, there is a time and place for emotions, and I get it. People love that, right? And heaven knows, I've read so many comments already and so many reactions that say, oh, they cried during some scenes of 86 or whatnot. But it's, you know, this is war, right? This is for all intents and purposes an actual war anime, an actual war work here, and you don't have the time to basically, you know, hang up your emotions on every single death here, because it's war happens. You gotta carry on, right? And you start the morning after everything is done. And that's the same as Lena right here, right? You know, we see her, you know, shed a few tears, but she's not like all out bawling or whatnot. She has a mission to do, and damn it, she is going to get it finished, right? That determination at the very end there, you know, her face. And, you know, I get full credit, right? Like at the start of this anime, I wasn't all too sold on Lena's character. You know, I felt like she was this kind of like naive schoolgirl type kind of girl, like sure, cheerful and full of optimism and so on and so forth. But you know, in many ways naive and you know, unrealistic, right? She definitely reminds me a lot of, you know, like college students, right? Like bright, young, shining future, so hopeful for the future. But not really grounded, not really down to earth, and that kind of thing. And you know, to change throughout these 11 episodes, throughout this entire season, until the very end there, where we see her determination, right? Her grit there, her fire in her eyes. I love it, right? She is undergoing this transformation directly before my eyes, and you know, I'm loving every second of it here. And you know, just I guess another part of this is because, like, I always within these animes, you know, partially I try to predict what will happen, but another part is I also try to you know, always predict in a way that kind of follows like what I want from this work, right? What I from this anime, like how great would it be to have this kind of thing. And you know, some people might say, oh, wishing the deaths on you know, those 5 and whatnot, how can you be so cruel, Mavri? But you know, that's how you get a great work here, right? That's how you get a great work. You build up these characters, you know, and you let them go out in, you know, you could say blazing glory, but in a lot of in another sort of how can I put this? You know, looking at it from their perspective, they just went out with a puff, right? You know, did their last stand actually make any difference in the grand scheme of things? No, absolutely not, right? The fact that they died over there, right? The fact that they spent these 2 or 3 weeks, you know, fooling around behind enemy lines and whatnot, and you know, having some time of relaxation before meeting their final end, that changes nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it's just because of that, right? What had to be done has already been done. Well, obviously, you know, there might be some connection later on if Shin is integrated into Legion, and like I said, maybe eventually Lena will have to face Shin, and so on and so forth, right? That's something entirely else here. But what I'm saying is, it's not like they went out in a blaze of glory or whatnot, accomplishing some very, very important mission or whatnot. But no, they just basically poof, just like that. They just died, right? These characters who we've seen throughout these 11 episodes are gone just like that. But what has to be done has been done, and the torch is now handed over to Lena for her to continue her fight here, and by God, she will, right? She is going to find a way to fight the system, try to overturn all of this, and you know, we see here, right? She was reprimanded for her actions during the last mission of the Spearheads, right? Calling in the air support and whatnot, or not calling in air support, but the artillery and so on and so forth. So she was reprimanded for that, and she knows this, right? She knows that she's gonna face consequences for her actions and whatnot, but she's gonna get smarter, right? She's going to find different ways of carrying out her fight until she can achieve what she needs to achieve at the very end there, which is actually twofold, right? One is to fight for justice for the 86, but also they still need to find a way to stave off the Legion, right? They still need to find a way to survive throughout all of this. And I mean, I just love absolutely the entirety of the development through these 11 episodes that we've seen so far. You know, there's very few anime that I would say that I put in my 10 out of 10 masterpieces. I think so far I've only put 3 franchises as masterpiece franchises. Those 3 are respectively Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Madoka Magica, and also Gintama, the Gintama series here. Those 3 are the only 3 that I consider 10 out of 10 masterpieces in terms of anime adaptations and whatnot. This one, is it a 10 out of 10? I don't know, right? Because I don't know how it ends yet. So at this point in time, I really can't judge it yet. But if it continues to carry on with everything that it has so far, right? With how the characters grow, with how it treats its characters, how it treats its scenes, how it pushes the subtleties of the emotions and the emotional impact of things, you know, using this kind of method instead of an over a top, really in your face kind of method. You know, the sound design, and the background music, the artwork, the animation. Well, I guess I guess I do have the actual 3D animation and stuff could still be a little bit better, I guess, if you really want to nitpick on that. But still, you know, if it can continue on this throughout the entire of the second season, and maybe eventually until it ends. I don't actually know if this work has ended yet. Then damn, that would be definitely a treat. So no question in my mind that this is my anime of the season as of right now. Again, I'm currently starting Vivi. Maybe I will change my mind, but I'll be honest here. Just from the subject matter and whatnot, I'm going to find it very, very hard to uproot 86 at this point. Okay, what else from this episode? I guess. Okay, so basically the past 10 minutes or so have been me singing my praise for this episode and for this season in general. Is there anything else to look forward to in the future seasons, right? I'm definitely thinking about like how exactly the Imperials are stylized here, and you know what that actually means here, right? So it kind of feels to me that the Imperials are Japanese, right? We see the Imperial. We see their architecture, their structure styles. We see their schools. We see the language they use. It seems to be Japanese, whereas the Republic here, right? The Albans, I think they're more so Western inspired more than anything, right? It seems to be like actual, you know, English that they're using and whatnot, and that goes with the naming as well, and so on and so forth. But you know, I don't know if there's any deeper backstory here. I perhaps there will, right? Because after all, the Legion was built by the Imperials, right, as a sort of weapon and whatnot. So maybe this will come into a point of contention later on down the road. You know, at this point, I think it's safe to assume that the Imperials were probably the Japanese, and the Albans are not. And you know, I mean, how far are we actually going to draw it to real life, right? I guess that's another question. Is there actually going to be this kind of a direct reference? I mean, direct parallel? You know, at this point, I've been saying, right, it certainly reminds me of Nazi Germany and whatnot, the way that the Albans treat the 86 and so on and so forth, and, you know, the way that a lot of these concepts are being laid out and whatnot. But are they actually going to go forward and say, okay, yeah, this is Japan and this is, you know, whoever else and that kind? Nah, I think that might be going a little bit too far over, right? And you know, that you really do run into a lot of problems with some more overtly sensitive people here. But you know, I guess that's something to keep in mind to see if it continues to be something important in the future, right? But definitely at this point in time, you would assume so that, you know, they are part of they are remnants of Japanese culture and whatnot. The rest, yeah, I think that's basically it for now, right? I mean, maybe we'll see more in the special episode next week, although I highly doubt so. I think it's going to be more maybe some daily life stuff and whatnot, or you know, more on the sentimental side of things, but who knows? Anyways, thank you guys for joining along this ride at this point in time. Definitely a great surprise for this season. I was almost on the verge of not watching it, actually, because, you know, just the subject matter and whatnot. I was like, I'm kind of on the fence, but, you know, thankfully, including recommendation from a good friend, Mad Lad, right? And then also looking through, once again, the sort of cast list, the staff list and whatnot, yeah, I am so glad I picked this one up. It's going to be definitely one of my favorite war-themed anime works for quite some time to come, right? It is definitely right up there. So, thank you guys for joining along. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. And, I mean, obviously, I will be watching the second season as well, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you know, feel free to check out my other videos and whatnot. And if not, well, hey, that's okay. I will hopefully see you guys next time, above for the special episode, if it actually is one. And, of course, for Season 2 as well. So, until then, stay safe, guys, and bye-bye.